Something happened recently that I want to share because it taught me, or rather confirmed, something important about how people actually change or how people actually heal. Someone very close to me was going through something painful, and afterwards she told me what helped. And it was not what I expected. It was not the guidance I gave her. That was much later. It was not the perspective or the reframe or anything that sounded like coaching. It was the moment before all of that. The moment I said, I understand this is painful, and I actually understood her emotions, where she's coming from. And in that moment, it was right. It hurts her. It was hurting her. It was very important to acknowledge that because I could feel her pain as well. She said that was the first time in the whole situation she felt actually seen, not managed, not fixed, seen by anyone in her entire life. And everything that came after, the guidance, the perspective, all of it only landed because the moment came first. Today I want to break down why this works, why almost everyone get it backwards, and the exact sequence I know I right now use in every difficult conversation, personal or professional. So the fixing instinct backfires technically. Why? Because when someone comes to us, let's say in pain, almost everyone does the same thing. We jump to solution, an answer, a fix, a rush to change it. And actually, many times you must have heard women saying that they don't want solution, they just want to be heard, they just want to be understood, they just want people to give them the presence. And many times the other side of the party always rush to conclusion because that is how we are rewired as well, to get to the solution. So here is what you should do instead. Have you tried this? It is not that bad, okay? Let me show you how it worked in my situation as well. Every one of these responses come from a good place, and every one of them fails. And responses like, have you tried this, have you done this, oh why don't you do this, why don't you do that, all of this are good. Guidance can be excellent, but have you acknowledged, have you understood what the person is going through? So when someone is in pain and immediately you move to fix it, you send a message you do not intend to send. The message is, your feeling is a problem, it needs to be resolved quickly because it is uncomfortable for me as well. And in the whole process, we being human beings, our emotions, if not addressed, then what is the point of the solution? And the person hears that also. Not consciously, but somewhere underneath, they registered that their pain is being managed rather than met. So they do not, they do one or two things. Okay, they either perform feeling better, or you will stop fixing, or they stop sharing entirely, and the situation is all gone and over. And then the build up happens depending on relation to relation, situation to situation. It just in in the future misfires. Office dynamics, relationship, parents and child relationship, relationship with colleague, friends. When you are talking to someone or someone is talking to you and the feeling is not understood, it kind of going to build resentment as well. So the fixing instinct is not completely into the kindness, even though you would want perfect thing for that person, But fixing it immediately is not the key. It is discomfort, wearing kindness clothes. Discomfort for either of the party, not even the one who is providing the solution, but even the one who is receiving it. Because, like I said, it is either your emotion should be controlled or your emotions are troubling me. It sends that message underneath. So we fix because sitting with someone's pain without solving it genuine is genuinely hard. It requires toleration, our own helplessness, and most people have never built that capacity. And it's completely okay. Not everyone can take in the negative emotional charge. And the fixing instinct is not kindness, it is discomfort wearing the clothes, like I said, of kindness. So we fix, and the person in front of us feels more alone than before they shared that day. Why? Because, like I said, the acknowledgement factor all goes out of the picture. And here's the sequence that actually works. It's a 5 step sequence. I'm going to walk through each step because the order matters more than people realize. And I want to put it out there. This is from my framework which I charge people for, but this is completely about helping people and I can't not share it out because not I'm pretty sure that I will be able to reach almost a lot of people who I will be able to reach through my resources, but there might be still people out there who would get this framework whose multiplication will happen in alongside of passing down this knowledge, and they would really appreciate it, not me but the person who is helping them. So we go ahead with step 1. Do not assume anything. Even though you know better, even though you understand, don't assume, just be there. When someone shares something difficult, the first discipline is entering without a preformed conclusion. You do not know what is happening. Simple. Even if it sounds familiar, even if you have heard 100 similar story, this specific person in this specific moment in this specific pain, you do not know yet. Simple. So you stay open. You ask, you listen to the answer instead of waiting for your turn to respond. Step number 2, acknowledge the pain. Before anything else, before understanding the details, before your guidance, you name what is true. This is painful. Understand the emotion, understand that particular pinpoint of is it pain, is it distress, whatever it is. Understand that and address it. And it is right, you understand that it is going to hurt that person, it must be hurting that person at that moment, and you feel that okay, this must be hurting, you feel bad for it. You feel sorry for that situation to arise as human being to another human being. Those words are your honest version of them. Do something almost nothing else can do. They give the person permission to feel what they are already feeling. They remove the second layer of suffering automatically in this. The part where the person is fighting their own pain on top of experiencing it, that gets removed because no one likes to be in that situation, but you're making sure that person understand it's okay, it happened, is a feeling which is also okay, so that person can process it, because they are also fighting internally with that emotion. Step number 3, understand why it hurts. Now you go deeper, not to fix, to understand why is it hurting, because what is this touching exactly. Often the surface situation is not the real source. It can be definitely in the lines of loop which is repeating in different aspect of life. So we understand the real source of it. The cancel plan is not about the plan itself. The criticism at work is not about the work. The pain has roots, and asking why it hurts gently, genuinely helps both of you find them. Because let's say if someone came to you saying, "Oh, I'm facing this issue in the work," your direct answer will be change the work, change your job profile, change the department. So now you understand why the initial phase of step number one of open mindset is also important, because many times you'll be providing an answer to that problem which the person is saying, not the underlining actual problem that is yet to be discussed. Now, step number four is guide. Only now, after that, they feel met. Y'all are at one junction together now. After the pain is acknowledged, after you understand what is actually underneath, now the guidance lands, because they are no longer defending against being fixed. They are open. And the same advice that would have bounced off in a minute, one gets received completely in a minute. And then comes the step number 5. Keep them feeling seen throughout. That is the most important element. This is the one that gets forgotten altogether. The seeing is not a phase at the start, it runs throughout the whole conversation. Your presence should be there. Small, genuine moments of noticing. Noticing them as a full person, how they are crying, why they are crying, if they are, what is their body like, comforting them. That is an important factor, not just a problem being processed. That continuous seeing is what makes the difference between a conversation that helps and the conversation that heals. And now, here is why I'm sharing this podcast about emotional pattern entrepreneurship, because after telling you all the sequence and how they are about the flow of it, how they should be taken, this sequence is not just my for personal relationship, it is exactly how real coaching works as well, and it's exactly what most coaching gets wrong. Many times, people try different methodology, different coaching, and they don't get the results, and then the whole thing is kept at the bench, say thinking that this was not for them and it never works out. And then we take different trajectory or pathways that is not going to heal as well, but at least it applies banded from time to time, which doesn't help either in long term. So most coaching and most advice giving in the business space especially starts at step number 4: guidance, framework, strategy. This is what you should do, and produces the same result it produces in personal conversation. Simple as that. The personal note take notes, agrees intellectually, change nothing, because the guidance arrived before understanding. It bounced off the same defenses. Simple as that. You never understood the root cause of the problem in itself. If you have understood also the root cause, let's say you're a very experienced person and you have understood you understand exactly what the people is going through and the person is going through, and you give that advice also, even that won't land, because the opposite person not completely 100% will be with you on that point. They must have thought, okay, this person just analyzed from the surface, didn't understand my emotions, and then again the advice just bounces off. So when someone books a call with me after watching the video, after filling the form, the first part of the conversation is never the advice. It is steps 1, 2, 3, not assuming, acknowledging what they are carrying, understanding why it actually hurts, why is almost never the surface reason they wrote in the form itself. Sometimes it is so deep that It is very important to acknowledge, because if I'm giving my time to them and they are giving their time and emotions to me, sharing their personal space with me, it is my duty automatically to actually get it resolved, not just do a surface level work and give the same guidance to everyone. That difference is everything in relationship, in coaching, in leadership, in parenting, in every human interaction where one person is struggling and another wants to help. One thing to take into a week: the next time someone shares something difficult with you, your partner, a team member, a friend, catch that fixing instinct before it completes. You will feel it rising, the solution forming, the advice loading. Pause it, just pause it, and instead try the simplest version of step 2. Say that sounds genuinely hard, acknowledge it, and make sense that it hurts. Because if something happens in your life too, you would feel it in similar lines as well. So, that human understanding to another human understanding is way important, and one person understands the other through this line. Always remember, we connect each other through this emotions and consciousness in the air. So understanding each other's emotions, if we all try to look into that path, it wouldn't take much time for everyone us to, for all of us to connect. Then, in all this factor, just stay quiet. Let the person speak. Let your presence be the part. Play the part exactly. You let your presence be there. Let them keep going. Watch what happens. Watch how much more they share. Watch how the conversation deepens. Watch how by the end they often find their own way forward without you needing to give a simple piece of advice as well. And it happens many times. You know, after sharing, people say that I just wanted someone to hear me out, and they automatically start formulating. They automatically get the clarity, because before they're fighting their own emotions. Now they have detached from it automatically, but just by speaking it out. And it is just crazy that that is what being met does. It gives people back access to their own clarity, and second, the human to human connection just forms in a brilliant manner. And if you want a conversation like that about what you're carrying, watch the free video and see if it resonates. Link is in the bio. I will see you on Monday.